the main the main online platform for the new instructional mode. Okay, I will tell you later why Google Classroom tend to be chosen by the university staff and students. Okay, and again, we have to think about it because since not just only these three applications, okay, the student check and staff clock in clock out, and also the two instructional software. But another thing is that come to our mind is that okay, when the students come to the university, they have to pass, okay, the English language proficiency. Okay, we call uh, the entry, okay, the entry English proficiency exam, okay, the test and training. Okay, we used to do it on site rather than online. Okay, so that's why we have to find a solution. In this case, we have come across this particular software, okay, and university has invested to procure this English discovery online. This semester we have invested for about 1 million baht for 5,000 accounts, okay, to this application for the students at CRU to use for their English proficiency enrollment for the first year at the school. Okay? So after that, the university also has to invest the internet application as well. Okay? The internet connection. In this case, the university has bought the what we call the SIM card. Okay, the SIM card to allocate the SIM card for all the students, especially the year one, in order for them to be able to study. To access online learning with the university. So this is a software that we are using at the moment. Okay, the Google Classroom and Google Meet. Okay, and the second one is Microsoft Teams. I can tell you about the uh, why we have chosen Microsoft Teams. Okay, because there are some pros and cons, as you can see from on this screen, that it looks like Google Classroom seems to have more pros than more cons. Okay, in my personal experience, not really the fact by technology technicians. Okay, technician expert, technical expert, not from technical experts point of view, but from my personal point of view, that Google Classroom. This is an example of my class. Okay, that I'm teaching from home sometime. Okay, I it is quite easy to use because Google Classroom and Google Meet is web-based. Okay, and it is logged in with the primary email that is sponsored by the university. That means every student at the university will get the email account, okay, with the university domain name. Okay, so and then this domain name at cru.sch tend to attach directly with Google platform. Okay, and it looks like the Google seems to be more user friendly. Okay, and it is easy access to the cloud. The Google Drive. So it looks like everything is attached to the Google Drive, whether it be the Google Sheet, okay, Google Docs, okay, and even the Google Slides, okay, and also Google Forms. So everything seems to be quite user friendly and attached directly to Google Drive. Even when we are on the I mean, on the video, the online conference session, and then the recording session can go directly Google Drive. So it is very easy when we, after the class session, we can share directly the video to the Google Classroom so the students can review the class session afterwards. So it is so convenient to use Google Classroom in this case. And for the assignment submission and checking, as Google Classroom seems to win the Microsoft Teams, on my personal opinion, because it's quite easy. Okay, it's quite easy. However, there seems to be one disadvantage to my personal experience, in that Google platform, okay, doesn't work in China. Since, as I have shown you before, that majority of international students come from China, and then they tend to be in China right now. Okay, and it looks like that the Google Classroom, okay, and Google platform doesn't work in China. That is really some kind of pity thing. Okay, so in this case, we have to change to a new platform. Okay, a new platform that is used. It is a good thing for the university to have the second option of the software, that is Microsoft Teams. Okay, and this Microsoft Teams, every student once they register at university, so they will automatically have this email account. Okay, the secondary email account, which is at 365.criu.ac.th. Okay, this is the secondary email account for CRU students, so it's good for them. In this case, uh, so I have to change from Google Classroom. Okay, when I teach online session for Thai students, I prefer Google Classroom because of the the advantages that I have mentioned before. However, when I have to come across to deal with international students, especially students from China, then I have to China, and there seems to be the pros. Okay, for Microsoft Teams. Okay, one of the pro is it is work well. Okay, it is working very well in China. So the the students who have the university email account can access Microsoft Teams directly from China internet connection. And it seems to be the all-in-one. Okay, all-in-one means that the Microsoft team is one package, and it comes with everything. Okay, it comes with the online communication. Okay, the chat, the assignments. Okay, and everything, as you can see from the screen. Okay, so unlike Google Classroom, that you have to access different applications. For example, Google Meet is one thing, Google Classroom is one thing. Okay, however, this all-in-one seems to affect the slow loading. Okay, it's quite slow and computer resource consuming. Okay, for Microsoft Team. Okay, and one of the disadvantage that I have found is the video recording when during the class session. It used to go directly to Microsoft Stream, which is one of the application offered by Microsoft that will automatically save the video for the review afterwards. But right now it seems like it's not working. Okay, as you can see that it it looks like that every video seems to be going to be expired unless we download it. Okay, so this one is kind of annoying for me for the Microsoft Teams. So that's why once we have arrived, okay, to this point, we have to think about, okay, oh, there are quite a lot of things that we have to deal with. Okay, not just only Google, okay, but also Microsoft Teams as well. Okay, for the class communication. Okay, another thing that we have to deal with is English discovery, because it is the third application that we are using at the moment, only for the university wide. Okay, for the students, the year one students. So every students, when they reach year one at the university, they have to pass the CEFR A2 level. Okay, the CEFR A2 level. In this case, we, as I mentioned before, that uh, to orient the students, okay, to pass the A2 level for the entry level. Okay, they normally have to get to receive the training on site at the university. But at this pandemic, okay, situation, we can no longer offer the on-site training program for the students. Okay, we have to deal with them online. So how are we going to deliver this English entry training for the students online? Then in this case, we have to find the solution. So that solution seems to go to the English discovery. Why? Because there are a couple reasons. Okay, the first reason that the English discoveries tend to benchmark with the CEFR already. Okay, as you can see that their contents, okay, their contents at basic 2 and basic 3, basic 2 and basic 3 concurrent with the CEFR level A2, which is agree, okay, which agrees with the university announcement for the students entry level. Okay, so and the content for the English discovery is quite easy to implement, okay, because it seems to have all the the ready-made package, software package that comes with the contents, okay, and also the statistic embedded inside the software, which is quite good for us, okay. And the step of learning is also quite easy because there are only 3 steps, okay, explore, practice, and test. So we communicate, okay, this software selection, and we have the meeting with all the teachers who are going to teach English course for the student in year 1, and their goal is that to mobilize the students, all students at the entry level to reach the A2 according to the CEFR, and as this university announcements, okay, for the quality assurance on the English language proficiency. So, and we have to come up with the guidelines, okay, with the guidelines. So how are we going to implement it? How are we going to clearly communicate the integration of the English discovery online and the use of Google Classroom? How are we going to do it? So in this case, we have developed the guideline of the integration for the English discovery online, and we have chosen the general education course. So we call the GEN, okay, to 001, okay, which is the what we call the basic English course that the students year 1 need to pass. Okay, so we choose this course, and then we integrated the English Discovery Online Basic 2 and Basic 3 according to the table that I've shown before. And then we follow the blended instruction. So the blended instructions means that instead of allowing the students to do autonomous learning, we interfere the learning by means of having the teachers to do live teaching, okay, to do live teaching using Google Classroom, okay, and also Microsoft Teams to deliver the English Discovery online in the general English education course, this GEN to 001, okay, and this is our design for the assessments, okay. It may be not perfect. You may comment later on, okay, about our proposal here, but it is the experience here. So I hope that it is not perfect things kind of thing, but I hope that we can share some thoughts about it. Okay, so the assessments come in 100% in the fact that 30% come from the matrix report. The matrix reports the come from the completion bar for every unit lessons in from the software, okay. And also the midterm and the final test is 40%, right? So for example, today, October 28th, our students are now having the online final exam within the EDO platform, okay. It is the final exam today, okay, at the university. The students are now struggling with their final exam. It is 40%, okay, 20% for midterm and 20% for final. And then also we teachers interference by giving the freedom to the teachers, okay, to give individual assignments for 20%. Okay, the individual assignments can be the workbook or the video clip. Okay, according to the teachers' meeting assignment, so they are going to do it individually. Okay, and then the attendance checks come 10%. Where does the 10% come from? As I have shown you at the very beginning slides, that we have the okay, online checking. So every time that the teachers do the live classroom, so the students will do online attendance checks, okay, directly via their computer or laptop or mobile phone. Okay, and from here, so we are going to do the evaluation course. Okay, so as the university announcement said that all students year one, they have to pass CEFR A2. In this case, so once they have passed this course, okay, and together with using the EDO Basic 2 and Basic 3, they will receive the EDO proficiency certificate, get A grade from the course evaluation. Okay, so the A grade will offer the students the proficiency certificate. Certificate will give their exempts, okay, from the what we call the entry test. However, not get the A grade, okay, below grade A, they will receive the training completion certificate for their portfolio, okay, for the training. And then they have another choice that they can do the retest, or they can retake again this general 2001 course. Okay, this is our design, and we have not I mean, 100% confidence about this platform, but this is going to be the pilot project for us at this moment. So we will be able to see how far the students can go following this proposal and this platform, right? So we are right now implementing this kind of, new learning environments and new teaching environments for CRIU students and teachers. So we are struggling a lot, and there are many meetings that going on, and also a lot of problems as well. As I mentioned, today is the final exam test. So along the way, we as it is an ongoing process, we would like to see how the student react. Okay, how the student react to this proposal and to this implementation. So we have initiated the Google forms, okay, the Google questionnaire, in order to see the student, okay, after towards the end of the semester, how they think about it. Okay, so this is some preliminary results. This questionnaire results, as you can see, the students have 729 responses. It looks like majority of them are female. Okay, it is the global trend, males than male in the university. And then they come from all faculties. Okay, we have 13 faculties at the university, from education to law. Okay, and majority seems to be 31.1% come directly from humanities. Okay, and the second one comes from education. So there are these are two main, high population students at the university. Very interestingly, it looks like that the university have made the right decision to buy the internet SIM card at the very beginning of the semester. The university invested the budget to buy the SIM cards for the university. As you can see that the results seem to show majority of the students at CRU, they have smartphones, okay, 67%, okay, and then secondly, they have laptop, and then following by computer PC, okay, and then tablet, right? How about the English proficiency at the placements as the placement score for the beginning of the semester and the beginning of the implementation of this project? So it looks like so majority of them still at very low level. Okay, so still quite low at basic 2. Okay, and basic 1. Okay, basic 1 only the 23% has passed. Okay, has passed the the expectation at basic 3. Okay, for the interestingly, there are still 6.7% that is quite first discovery. Okay, below the A1 level. Okay, around A1. So that's why we I believe that we have made the right decision on implementing this kind of project, because it looks like this statistics reflects the real situation that the students need training on the proficiency for the entry level. Okay. How about the preferred learning modalities? Since we have the on-site, okay, and then we have to go through online, and then after almost a year, the COVID situation is now getting better. We especially in Chiang Rai province, we have zero COVID. Okay, so the university, especially the presidents, tend to change the policy a little bit. So next semester we are going to come back to the university to become on-site once again. So let's see how the student react to this approach, okay, to this initiative, to this movement. So it looks like that very interestingly, the students tend to prefer hybrid. That means the integration of both on-site and online. Okay. However, the online seems to be, very attractive to the students, because around 32% seems to favor the online classroom, okay, rather than the on-site. The on-site come to the third, okay, the lowest, percentage of the preferred learning modalities in this case. How about the quality of the English discovery online content? So it looks like the red bar seems to be quite high. Okay, so it means that they seems to, the student seems to be okay. Okay, seems to be satisfied. Okay, with the content of the online learning. Okay. However, we have interestingly that I would like to focus here. It's about, I have a few more seconds, okay, for my talk. So it's like that the student seems to be okay with the online session, okay, but they seems to be not okay with the internet content, because I have used the concordance software to analyze the open-end responses from the university. Unfortunately, it is in Thai, but as you can see that this in the middle is the keyword. Okay, the keyword in context, the keyword that is seems to focus mainly on the word internet. Okay, in Thai. Okay, internet. So they seems to complain. Okay, they seem to complain a lot about internet connection. Okay, the quality of the internet connection is not good. Okay, it's not favorable to their online learning. Likewise, it looks like that this is also very interesting. It seems that they seem to complain about the fact that they could not keep up the pace online learning. Okay, so in this case, they tend to focus and then they tend to express their opinion that they want to come back to normal classroom at university. So that reflects the fact that why they tend to answer that they need on site as the hybrid platform, okay, rather than solely online learning. Okay, another things that they talk about benefits of online learning. Okay, the benefits of online learning, all students seems, majority of them seem that online learning seems to promote, okay, seems to promote self-study approach. I mean, the promotion of autonomous learning, quite, I mean, good for the fact that it is the fact for online learning that is really self-directed learning and responsibility, and students need to be very disciplined, and it's a kind of thing that we need to promote our students to have this kind of, I mean, learning behavior. However, in regard to suggestions to online learning, okay, they, according to the proposal and the implementation of this project, the student seems to have no suggestions, okay, for the improvements, okay. They tends to be okay, okay, maybe it is the Thai style, right? It's not no suggestion, but reflected the fact that the student seems to be okay to accommodate this kind of learning platform. However, they seems to have wishes. Okay, they have the wish. Okay, they have some kind of wish about the online learning. Okay, since in Thai they said อยากให้อาจารย์ okay อยากให้อาจารย์ means teachers. Okay, they wish teachers to they wish to have teacher interference. Okay, so this kind of things, these comments seems to agree, okay, with the fact that they want to have hybrid instruction. Okay, so they look like they want more teacher interference in terms of teaching vocabulary, giving more examples, orienting them more, okay, and teacher go more slower, okay, and clearer, need more detailed explanations, and then they prefer coming back to the normal classroom than online session. Okay, so like this, according to the implementation that we have so far, okay, so it looks like that we can draw some conclusions from this project. Okay, according to this, uh, so we are quite confident. Okay, right now students were more positive with the online learning platform. Okay, the integration, right, of the English Discovery Online with the course. Okay, however, there's some difficulties, of course, like internet connection. Okay, and I mean, we need more competence. Okay, for the online instruction, and then too much of the task. Okay, task overload. So like this, so the current situation is like this. Then we can look beyond. Okay, beyond is that we need more. We need more, and we need better campus internet connection service. Okay, this is a must for the university to, I mean, to allocate the budget, okay, and then the resources to improve the internet connection service for the university and then for the province as well. Secondly, even though the students seem to be positive with the implementation, okay, they tend the implementation of online learning, and then they tend to favor the hybrid platform. Okay, since maybe it reflects our, I mean, students behaviors. Okay, the uh, students learning preference. Okay, as I would like to focus on that term. Okay, our students here may be different from other university, as they need more guidance. Okay, they need more nurture from teachers in terms of and then they may need more classroom atmosphere. That's why we have to focus on how we can empower the hybrid classroom interaction, okay, competency for both teachers and students. So the university need to think about it. How can we, I mean, empower? How can we upgrade, okay, or improve our hybrid class instruction competency. And number three, the last conclusion, okay, for the current and beyond is that the online platforms require not just only one technologies, okay. Since I have shown you that I have used quite a couple of technologies. Actually, I have used more, but I have decided to post just only some major, okay, key platforms that are really working for this project. So in this case, teachers need more training, okay, need more training and need more familiarization. Okay? Familiarizations, okay, need more. I mean, how to get used to how to handle, how to manage various kind of technologies in order to get successful class instruction. For example, Google Classroom, Google Meet, okay, it's work for Thai internet connection, but it doesn't work for China. So we need other kind of platform, right? And then we have to be technology wise. Otherwise, it's going to be technology overload for both teachers and students. And then it's going to inferior, okay, the class instructions, right? So in this case, more training, right? More capacity building for both teachers and students on technology-wise, okay, competencies. So these are the three key conclusions for the current and beyond based on the experience at CRU. Actually, there are more, okay, for the for the conclusions, but at this moment, I can draw the conclusions for just for this at the so if there may be other things that we can think about it, we can discuss by the end of this webinar session. Okay, so that is all for the case studies. Okay, the current and beyond for educational landscape, the new normal, okay, at Chiang Rai Ratchapan University, Chiang Rai province. So I have covered the time of my session. So thank you very much for your kind attention. Okay, if you may have any questions, please feel free to share your thoughts. Thank you very much. Okay, สวัสดีครับ
Thank you very much, Dr. Natapon Santi, Assistant to the President of Chiang Rai Rajabat University, Muang Chiang Rai, Thailand, for sharing to us invaluable data about online learning in your institution. And I would like to call on our University President, Dr. Raul F. Muyo, to acknowledge Dr. Santi's invaluable expertise and time shared to us all today.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Iloilo Science and Technology University, I would like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to Dr. Santi for sharing his precious time with us today and discuss to us their experiences, no? The educational landscape during and beyond the pandemic, a case study of Chiang Rai Rajabat University. Based on his talk, we learned that uh, their experiences, no, and our experiences here in the Philippines is almost the same. If the students in Thailand are struggling about internet connectivity, ineffective online instruction, task loads, the same thing, no, in the Philippines, our students are also struggling, especially on internet connectivity, especially on the tasks, especially on the activities and requirements that are given to them. But of course, in the Philippines, we have already restructured our curriculum in this time of pandemic. We have revisited our requirements, we have revisited our course syllabi, and made things to adapt to the requirements of the new normal. So it seems that both countries, Philippines and Thailand, have the same experiences in terms of how our students and our teachers struggle in these times of pandemic. And we're happy that you share to us your experiences, and we hope that our participants learned a lot from your talk. Again, thank you very much, and we hope to see you here in Iloilo City, especially here in Iloilo Science and Technology University. Thank you, and again, may the good Lord guide and bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. President.
Once again, thank you, Dr. Santi. We have learned so much from your insights. We at ESETU are looking forward to meet you in person after the pandemic to forge a stronger partnership with you and your institution. Dear friends, do type your questions for Dr. Santi in the chat box so we may read them later during the open forum. When you type your questions, please do indicate to whom is the question for so it may be addressed accordingly later. I now am calling on Ms. Bena Sumagaysay to introduce to us our second resource speaker who will talk about vocational education during and beyond pandemic in Indonesia. Ma'am Bena?
Yes, good afternoon once again. Our second speaker hails from the Indonesian province of Jawa Timur or East Java. She holds a bachelor's degree in informatics from Skiti Malang, Indonesia. She finished a master's program in Technology Management Institute in Technology Sepulu Nepember or ITS, a public technological university in Subaraya, a port city on the Indonesian island of Java. Furthermore, she has a doctorate in instructional technology from Universitas Negeri Malang or the State University of Malang. Our speaker has extensive experience as a teacher and educational leader. She started as a computer instructor, then as a coordinator and director of production. At Skiti Malang, Indonesia, she was lecturer, head in information system, and head of study program in information management. At present, she is director of the same institution. Throughout the years, she has participated in both national and international gatherings of instructional leaders, IT educators, and computer technology experts. Among these was being a speaker at the international conference ICOM 2016 in Kyoto, Japan, and at the 11th European Conference on Games-Based Learning in Graz, Austria. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our second speaker, Dr. Eva Handriantini.
Thank you, Membena.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And first from all, I want to say thank you for Dr. New Yong, the President, University of ISA. Thank you to having me today in your conference. Also, Dr. Nenia, Vice President for External Affairs from ISET University. Thank you to inviting me to sharing about the Indonesian landscape in education today. And also my good friend from Thailand, Mr. Napon. Thank you and nice to meet you again in the same session. And also I saw my good friend also from Tarlac University, Ma'am Christine. Thank you to join this webinar. Okay, I will, and also all the doctoral students today, the participant, this webinar. I will share my screen. Okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
My screen. Ma'am Bena, you can
Yes.
see my screen? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Yes.
clear? Okay.
Clear.
And also my voice is clear?
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
okay, thank
clear.
you. Okay. This afternoon, sorry. Okay. This afternoon, I want to just sharing about how vocational education during and beyond pandemic in Indonesia. This is my perspective because since 2009, I'm to be director in a private university in Indonesia, and I want to share how we are doing in Indonesia today, and also how we are planned in the next after the pandemic. Okay. This is my contact. All of you can contact me in email or WhatsApp and other media social. Okay. Now, almost all the Mr. Napon already sharing about how they are doing in Thailand with online learning. I think this is the same also in Philippines and also Indonesia and other countries. And online learning, I think is not only about because of the pandemic, but pandemic is make everybody ready or not to using the online learning. But if we are looking backward about that, we know about the technology advantage already changing. Also, the change the student ability. Also, the learning style change also. How the student, also the teacher style to teaching also. And also about the learning media variation, the very changing so quick. And the changings about the society and revolution industrial 4.0. And about the challenges, the civilization, we know and we saw how about the society 5.0 now is always talking about the IoT, big data, and also 5G and extra. And also the industry 4.0, we're talking about how to the technology base support in everything in industry. Yeah. Okay. And also we know about the skill for student, the challenge in 21st century. We know our student now need to foundational literacies, also competencies, how the student approach complex challenge, critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. And also the character of qualities also need how we deliver this knowledge to our student today. Also in Indonesia, especially in vocational, we know in the prediction for 2026 till 2030, we know everything about will be up about the robotic, AI, machine learning, also in software, games, and everything, so on. Okay, this is the current situation in Indonesia today. Maybe similar with Thailand and also in Philippines. We know in Indonesia now we have a 3 category in area for because this pandemic, any red, yellow, and green. But for lower student, they cannot to entry to school even they are in the green area or in a city or no pandemic infected people there. But that is the government policy is the lower student need to studying from home. We can see in this picture some of the higher education, not higher education, but high school student, they can entry if they are in yellow or green area, but with health protocol. Lower student in the classroom also need to using face mask or something. And in the big city, they are familiar about the internet connection and internet online learning and something. But we can see also in the other side, if they are the student in the poor area or also maybe in the village, no connection, and what the student, how the student studying there. teacher will be visit to their home and teaching by the student. Okay. This is Indonesia government project now in Indonesia during this pandemic. It's about it's about the National Volunteer for COVID-19. This is government collaboration with the university at here, especially for the candidate a doctor in Indonesia to contribute for national volunteer. They share almost 1,000 the candidate doctor to all region to help the volunteer in health sector. And also, any thematic community services. This is the purpose program that is for personal environment, community environment, and also institutional environment. This is also collaborate between government and educational institution at here. They send the student to make the focus action is communication, education, information for new normal behavior. This is collaborate between Ministry of Education and Culture, also National Board for Disaster Management, local government, stakeholder, and student organization, etc. Okay. And then this is also the government project with educational institution also. We call here is a kelas mengajar perintis atau teaching campus program. This is the student from higher education will collaborate with local teacher in the school to teach elementary school students regarding literacy and numeration subject. This is also online monitoring, evaluation through online platform of independent campus and independent learning. Okay, and how about the initiative from Indonesia government for pandemic also beyond after the pandemic? Okay, our president have the 5 vision in Indonesia. And in 5, one of them, that is about the development of human resources. This is the commitment from our government. That is how to develop of quality human resources through vocational development. This is till 2024. What they are doing in this condition. We can see at here any 5 economic contribution sector. This is from agribusiness, tourism, healthcare, economic, e-commerce, and also labor export. And in vocational education, our government have the strategy what to develop reinforcement the vocational education in Indonesia. The first is about the fulfillment. This is about the fulfillment of vocational teaching staff, especially in a certain atau productivity skill. That is, it means it's not only the teacher can teach the student in vocational education, but skill the similar with industry. Also, the curriculum, how to rebuild or redevelop a new curriculum that is aligned with industrial need and also refer to KKN in Indonesia, Indonesian National Framework, and also development of Industrial Revolution 4.0. And also improve student to screening so that those who enter vocational school are quality student. Because in Indonesia, vocational student is like a stigma, the negative stigma. If you not diligent to in study, the student can entry to vocational. But now the government is changing the stigma. Is you are clever, you can entry also to the vocational education. And also digital technology, the use of digital platform in the teaching process and labor market information, and also collaborating between vocational education institution with industry through apprenticeship, and also collaborating between vocational education institution and industry through apprenticeship. And also the last is providing practical equipment and infrastructure in accordance with industrial need. Okay, this is also the how the government pushing the vocational institution to make the collaboration between ASEAN, ASEAN Plus 3, ASEM, and also Australia, and now also with Germany, how to develop and rebuild the management in vocational education. Okay, this is Indonesia National Quality Framework. We call it here with KKNI. This is the national framework used to access an individual or a graduate in the aspect of knowledge, competencies, and skills in accordance with the learning outcome and achievements. In Indonesia, any 9 level in KKNI, also any 6 different type of higher education, any polytechnic, university, institute, sekolah tinggi or college, also academy, and also community academy. Government already separate between the vocational education and general education. If the student entry polytechnic, it means the student will be learning about the vocational and different curriculum also between vocational education and general education. Okay. Okay, this is also the new initiative from our government. We call here with Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, or independent learning and independent campus. Any 4 focus this program. The first is about opening policy about the opening of new study program is more easy, and also policy about higher education institute accreditation system. This is also changing very big different policy. And also legal entity states university. This is for public education institution. And also the right to study 3 semester the student in higher education to outside core study program. Okay, what we are meaning about the independent learning and independent campus. In independent learning, it's mean higher education must provide the right for students to volunteer, possible to take care credit outside of university for 2 semester, equivalent with 40 credits. Plus, student can take credit at different study program at the same university for 1 semester. This is equivalent with 220 credits. It is also in my university. In other words, the credit that must be taken at the origin study program at 5 semester of the total semester that must be run, not valid for health study program. Okay, this is for Merdeka Belajar. And any 8 focus program in independent learning and independent campus. that is about internship, how the student can internship activity in the company, non-profit foundation, multilateral organization, government institution, or startup company. And the teacher or lecturer will be guide that student activity in that company. And the second activity is about the project in the village. This is the social project to help people in rural or remote area develop the people economy, infrastructure, and others. Also, the third activity is about teaching in school. This is how the student from higher education can collaborate with local government to teaching activity in elementary, middle, and high school for several months. School can be located in the city or remote location. This program is facilitated by our ministry. And also the fourth is about the student exchange, how the student can take classes or semester in foreign or domestic territory institution based on corporate agreement entered into by the government. This is the same what we are doing now with ISET University to transfer credit there. And also in 5 activity, it's about the research. This is academic research activity doing both scientific and social humanities, which are carried out under the supervision of the lecturer or researchers. And also activity in entrepreneurial activities. This is the student develop entrepreneurial activities independently, evidenced by explanation, proposal of entrepreneurial activities, and evidence of customer transaction or employer salary slip. This is also guided by the lecturer or the teachers. And the 7th activity is about the independent studies project. This is the student can develop any project based on specific social topic, can be done together with other students. This can collaborate between a student, study program, and also partnership with industry, and also with other partners from university, collaborate with a university to make the specific project. And then the last activity is about the humanitarian project. This is about the social activities for a foundation or humanitarian organization approach by university, both at home and also abroad. This can example in Indonesian Red Cross, Mercy Corps, and others. This is the new, and also we are doing now between our educational institution with the government. Okay, government also have on Indonesian online learning system that is already running about 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and this is what is SPADA? SPADA is the first Indonesian higher education MOOCs, and also all the content and material has passed quality tests by our government, and also facilitating credit transfer activity between university and integrated with independent campus program. And also this, because this is using the learning management system that can be used by all lecturer and student in Indonesia. In Indonesia, also learning management system is also to be the issue also in online learning, because not many students also ready with learning management system. That's why the government share about the material. We can access, the student can access the material using SPADA. Okay, this is the new one. This is about the ICE Institute. This is online courses from our government initiative. This is a gallery of all online courses being offered in Indonesia, through a process of verification and curation. This is a new one, and this is still free for everybody who want to learn from anywhere, anytime, can access and so on. Okay, this is also the new one initiative. Maybe I can do. Sorry, I will stop first. I forgot I already. Oh, okay. So I will. This is the new initiative to build to create a consortium higher education in AI in Indonesia.
Menyadari bahwa bangsa yang menguasai teknologi akan menjadi bangsa yang berdaya saing tinggi, Presiden Joko Widodo memberikan mandat kepada Menteri Riset dan Teknologi yang juga merangkap sebagai Kepala BRIN untuk mengkoordinasi strategi nasional kecerdasan artifisial.
Kita ingin, karena sekarang ada AI, ada artificial intelligence yang bisa membantu kita dalam hal yang bersifat teknis, sehingga birokrasi kita lebih cepat, tugas birokrasi kita menjadi lebih ringan.
Badan Pengkajian dan Penerapan Teknologi mengkoordinasi Quadruple Helix untuk menyusun stranas kecerdasan artifisial yang memuat area fokus dan bidang prioritas dalam pemanfaatan kecerdasan artifisial untuk pembangunan nasional. Ada 4 area fokus kecerdasan artifisial, yaitu etika dan kebijakan, pengembangan talenta kecerdasan artifisial Indonesia, data dan infrastruktur, riset dan inovasi industri. Sementara pada bidang prioritas, ada 5 bidang prioritas yang dipilih berdasarkan suatu kriteria dan dilaksanakan melalui konsorsium nasional atau kerjasama internasional, yaitu layanan kesehatan, reformasi birokrasi, pendidikan dan riset, ketahanan pangan, serta mobilitas dan kota cerdas. Stranas Artifisial Indonesia 2020-2045 mempunyai tagline Towards Indonesia Vision 2045 dengan 4 buah misi, yaitu mewujudkan kecerdasan artifisial yang beretika sesuai dengan nilai-nilai Pancasila, menyiapkan talenta kecerdasan artifisial yang berdaya saing dan berkarakter, mewujudkan ekosistem data dan infrastruktur yang mendukung kontribusi kecerdasan artifisial untuk kepentingan negara, menumbuh kembangkan ekosistem kolaborasi riset dan inovasi kecerdasan artifisial guna mengakselerasi reformasi birokrasi serta industri nasional yang unggul. Dengan adanya strategi nasional kecerdasan artifisial 2020-2045, optimis Indonesia akan menjadi salah satu negara terdepan yang mampu menguasai kecerdasan artifisial di segala bidang sehingga memiliki daya saing tinggi secara global.
Okay, and sorry if this video is about talking in bahasa, gitu ya. But it is initiation is about collaboration between informatic institution in Indonesia. We have collaboration to create a consortium, and we are develop curriculum, also product in AI. Okay, and how about the future direction? We know the World Economic Forum already shared about the future of job survey in 2020. It's about the technology likely to be adopted by 2025. We can see together here about the information technology, cloud computing, big data analytics is the the big technology, the top technology with the labor have the knowledge about that. And also about the share of task performance by human vs machine, we can see information and data processing is the machine will be make almost more than 60% the activity was the human doing, but later on it is by a machine. Okay, and also this is the top 20 job rules in increasing and decreasing demand across the industry. And we can see also what is the increasing demand from what forum analyzed is about that data analyze and also scientists. Okay, and what we are doing more and more in the future from Indonesia and international engagement. This is first about enhancing mobility for student mobility, credit transfer, joint curricula, joint degree, double degree, and fast track. This is like we did also now with ISAT University for credit transfer, and also we are open to other university from Philippines can collaborate with our campus. And also the second is about enhancing mobility for faculties. And the third is about the enhancing mobility of educational providers. And the last is enhancing existing bilateral cooperation. It's not only about the educational institution, but also with industry, with for the improving the student skill, similar with industry. And this is the policy also from vocational higher education, how based on industrial cooperation, including with increase the role and cooperation of industry in vocational higher education, and also reform of the administration and or management of vocational higher education, how to make link and match between education and industry, and also the increasing the quality and competence of vocational educator and instructor. This is also the big project in the next future. And also strengthening for competency certification system, and also strengthening vocational higher education governance. This is the big reform for vocational education in Indonesia. Okay, this is enough. Thank you, terima kasih. And also I want to try to say in Philippine, maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eva Handriantini, Rector Sekolah Tinggi Informatika dan Komputer Indonesia, for the ideas, insights, mobility programs, and the developments in technology in your institution and in Indonesia that you have shared with us this afternoon. I'm sure our university president would like to acknowledge Dr. Handriantini for her invaluable time and for her expertise and insights shared with us today. I now give you back Dr. Raul F. Muyong. Sir?
Terima kasih, Dr. Eva Eskom.
Terima kasih, Dr. Moyong.
On
Nice
behalf
to meet you.
of the university, I would like to express my sincere appreciation for your precious time for being with us today in this very important academic exchange program. I had been in Indonesia last year. No?
Wow. Okay.
We have a very strong partnership with educational institutions in Indonesia.
Okay.
I was invited as one of the keynote speaker in PGRI Majung, East Java.
Oh, okay.
I proceeded to Polytechnic Electronica Negeri in Surabaya.
Oh, okay.
and also at Universitas Tidar. So
Oh,
I was able to visit the whole Java,
yeah,
East, Central, and West Java,
yes.
to strengthen our collaboration with our partners. And I was able to visit the industry and schools where our students have their experiences in CTVET and C-Teacher program.
Yes.
And I hope one of these, some other times I can also visit STKI, yeah, for more collaboration. So I'd like to thank you for sharing your expertise, especially in the field of vocational education.
Thank
You know, we speak the same language because we are also vocational educators.
Yes.
And most likely my involvement in international uh, seminars is all about Tibet, no? Technical
yes, Tibet.
vocational education and training, because as one of the pioneers and of course active advocates of Tibet programs, we have to share with Asia, Tibet uh, institutions like ATEN. We have our association, Asian Tibet Educators Network, where our president is from UTHM. And also we are very much active in UNIVOC, because we are the UNIVOC Center here in the Visayas. So we talk about technical vocational education training, and I'm happy to hear from you your policy directions regarding vocational higher education in Indonesia.
Thank
So I
you.
hope that our audience today has learned a lot from your talk, and I'm happy to note that Indonesian government has already laid down their plans for year 2045.
Yes, 2024.
Yeah, it's more futuristic. And of course, we in the Philippines is talking about Ambition 2040. Yes, and I believe we have the same directions. Of course, we're happy to have a partnership now with you, with your university, with regards to our credit transfer program.
Yes, sure.
And the board of regents of this university has already approved it, but of course, we're required to submit our papers to the ministry. We call it the ministry in Indonesia. In the Philippines, we call it the Commission on Higher Education, further information. So we hope to continue collaborating with each other. And later on, I would like to have a question during the open forum for you. And I hope we can discuss these things with regards to how we have to implement some of the policies regarding vocational education and training in both countries, Philippines and of course in Indonesia. So thank you very much again, and God bless us all.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, Dr. Handriantini. By the way, dear participants, in case you have questions for Dr. Handriantini or Dr. Santi, please type them down in the chat box panel so that I may read them later during the open forum. Please make sure that you're able to indicate whom the question is for so that our resource speakers may address them accordingly. Don't forget to also indicate your name and your school. Thank you very much. Okay. I believe Ms. Bena Sumagaysay is now ready to introduce our third resource speaker who will speak on DepEd learning delivery modalities. Ma'am Bena, take it away.
Thank you, Ma'am Jella. Our third speaker hails from Igbaras, Iloilo. He is an alumnus of our very own university, Iloilo Science and Technology University, where he finished 2 of his degrees, Bachelor of Elementary Education and Master of Science in Industrial Education. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Development Education from the Philippine Christian University, Bangkok, Thailand. He was awarded Best Research Paper and Best Dissertation, respectively. Our resource speaker was a DepEd scholar on basic educational management at the prestigious Asian Institute of Management. He's also a trainer, curriculum writer, and evaluator for K-12 basic education curriculum, a writer of mother tongue-based multilingual education instructional materials, a writer, lead trainer School Heads Development Program for school heads, and Instructional Leadership Program for district and division supervisors, as well as that of DepEd NAIAP Learning and Development. A certified and accredited NAIAP facilitator for learning and development. Our speaker has risen from the ranks, from a classroom teacher for 10 years to a school principal for 11 years, and now a district supervisor, District 1, City Proper, Division of Iloilo City. Friends, our very own speaker is Dr. Nerio Benito Eseyo.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bena.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
To the academic community of Iloilo Science and Technology University, headed of course by our university president, Dr. Raul F. Muyong, Dr. John Eric B. Vanessa, Dean of College of Education, our dear vice presidents, directors, other deans, graduate professors, graduate students, our distinguished resource persons from Thailand and Indonesia, my DepEd family, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Indeed, I am honored to be sharing to the Department of Education, to state universities and colleges, including Indonesia and Thailand, the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan for school year 2020-2021 in light of the COVID-19 public health emergency. As reported by Honorable Leonor Magtolis Briones, Secretary, Department of Education, COVID-19 pandemic brought fast-paced changes in global education. Basic education is among the sectors heavily affected as schools and community learning centers are closed for physical conduct of classes. In order to provide clear guidance to all offices, units, schools, the DepEd developed a Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or BELCP, thus this session today. May I therefore invite your attention to my session objectives. So this afternoon, we will dwell on the topics and focus on the principles of DepEd Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, its features, and also let's try to see the most essential learning competencies of our curriculum and shared understanding of the learning delivery modalities adopted by various schools nationwide. To capture the session objectives, we have here our session flow to cover my 30-minute talk. We will start with the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, where I guess all our schools, all our division offices, our regional offices, and of course the Department of Education have this document. We also be talking about principles of BELCP, the adoption of most essential learning competencies. We will have a walkthrough of the learning delivery modalities and school calendar activities. Guided by our vision, the BELCP serves as a roadmap to fulfill its commitment to uphold the children's right to access quality education while promoting their health, safety, and overall well-being of our learners. Thus, on the screen is the Department of Education vision. It's our mission in the Department of Education to ensure the best interests of our learners as our top priority. We are praying that in this most challenging school year, we'll still bring success and victory for our students, teachers, administrators, family, and community who are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners amidst COVID-19 pandemic, which are all embedded in our Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. In the Republic of the Philippines, the Department of Education is the biggest bureaucracy or department. We all want to mobilize the 965,660 teaching and non-teaching combined forces to overcome these trials spread among the 223 schools division offices, 17 regional offices, with our central office guiding us. Humbly serving the 27 million plus learners from kindergarten to grade 12, from the 47,000 public elementary schools and 14,562 private schools nationwide. So that's our structure and our organization as to our profile. What is then Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan? This is our roadmap to sustain basic education in the Republic of the Philippines. It is a package of education interventions that will respond to the basic education challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. The BELCP provide clear guidance to offices, units, schools, and community learning centers, and likewise will help engage the internal and external stakeholders for inputs in the delivery strategy and operational direction that ensure the health, safety, and well-being of all learners, teachers, and personnel of the department. What are then the principles why we have this BELCP? Guided with this, we designed the BELCP to protect health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel, ensure learning continuity through K-12 curriculum adjustments. So that is why we have the MELCs, wherein we are trying to align the learning materials as we develop SLM, LAS. We always anchor this on the continuity of the K-12 curriculum where a little adjustments were made. And likewise, we deploy multiple learning delivery modalities where we are going to highlight in my talk: training of teachers, training of school heads, supervisors, and all DepEd implementers or instructional leaders. So the National Educators Academy of the Philippines spearheaded the training before the opening of classes last October 5, offering learning delivery modality courses 1 and 2 for all DepEd personnel in order to prepare ourselves to address the needs during this most trying time. And likewise, in the training, we train our personnel or our teachers and our school administrators on the conduct of various modalities orientation for parents, guardians of learners, and stakeholders in this BELCP. In the curriculum context, learning strategies and modalities where we address on streamlining of the K-12 curriculum into the most essential learning competencies. You can see and describe the different subjects prescribed in the K-12, list of subjects from kindergarten to grade 12, the number of learning competencies that we have in the current curriculum guide, which is more or less 15,000, and the number of MELCs that we have now, which is more or less 6,000, or to be exact, that's 5,689. What is the MELC then? MELC is defined as the competencies that learners need in order to continue to subsequent grades and ultimately to have successful life. The BELCP streamlines the K-12 curriculum into the most essential learning competencies to be delivered in multiple learning modalities and platforms. The streamlining of the K-12 curriculum into the MELCs is an emergency measure to allow instruction amid challenging circumstances to focus on the most essential learning and to ease the requirements for adopting classroom-based learning resource for distance learning. So 40% of the total number of learning competencies in the curriculum guide were retained, and we condense, merge the rest of the curriculum in the learning competencies. You can also see here in the next slide, the graphs showing the number or the percentages of the retained MELCs and remove learning competencies. So the MELC is aligned with the national standard or frameworks, such as Holistic Filipino Learners with 21st Century Skills. So these are the gauge when we do merging or review of the curriculum on the specific areas where we focus on learning competencies. Second, we also connect the content to higher concepts across content areas, which are applicable to real life situations or survival skills. They are important to students to acquire, or even if student drops from school, then they can be expected to be ordinarily learned by student if not taught in school. So we simplified to address the needs of the learners in terms of the competencies given to them during this pandemic. But we want to ensure that the curriculum exit is never been compromised, wherein we want to see the holistic development of the Filipino learners showing or manifesting the 21st century skills. The MELCs, of course, will ensure that our graduates are still responsive to this curriculum exit, where learner skills are developed along information and media technology skills, where we develop visual and information literacies, media literacy, basic scientific, economical, and technological literacies, and multicultural literacy, and of course, global awareness. On learning and innovation skills, the highlights of the LC or learning competencies is on creativity and curiosity, critical thinking, problem solving skills, and risk taking. For communication skills, we want to promote collaboration and interpersonal skills. And for life and career skills, flexibility and adaptability, meaning the resiliency of the Filipino learners nowadays, initiative and self-direction and being resourceful, social and cross-cultural skills, productivity and accountability, leadership and responsibility, ethical and moral and spiritual values. So these are the expectation among the learners that we want to produce during this time. According to UNESCO, approximately 1.4 billion learners were affected by the 172 countrywide school closures last April. As October 24, 4 days ago, there are still 34 countrywide school closures due to COVID-19. All Southeast Asian countries have already opened their schools, adapting various learning delivery modalities. The learning delivery modalities that the schools can adopt may be one or a combination of different modalities depending on the COVID-19 restrictions and the particular context of the learners in the school or in the respective community. Thus, the Department of Education learning delivery modalities in the new normal are being highlighted. What are the learning delivery modalities that DepEd offers for the new normal? We have actually three. First, we have the face-to-face learning. The second is the distance learning. And the third is the homeschooling. But I would like to dwell on distance learning, wherein we have four. We have the modular distance learning or the MDL. We have the online distance learning or the ODL. TV, video, radio-based instruction, TV, video, RBI, and blended distance learning or BDL. Allow me to highlight the features of these different learning delivery modalities that parents and learners chose from. And it is important that parents assess first the needs and the capabilities of their own child and the quality and the quantity of support that they can offer, they can provide before they decide on the modality that suits their child best or their context and their community as a whole. Starting with modality number one. I said The first one is face-to-face learning. But I would like to highlight that face-to-face learning was put on hold. Face-to-face learning was put on hold until such time that the Department of Health Interagency Task Force on COVID-19, the Office of the President, considered it safe to physically return to schools. So the face-to-face refers to a learning delivery modality where students and the teacher are both physically present in the classrooms, and there are opportunities for active engagement, immediate feedback, and socio-emotional development of the learners. In the face-to-face, the class size is of course reduced to a certain number to ensure that this will follow physical and social distancing protocols. Follows also the usual classroom program, but no class shifting as advised. And the stringent compliance of the health standards are required to protect health and safety of each child, observing hand washing, sanitation, wearing of face masks, and adhering on social distancing. But again, I would like to emphasize that in the Republic of the Philippines, the face-to-face learning, even limited, was put on hold. The second learning delivery modalities is distance learning. Distance learning education refers to learning delivery modality where learning takes place between the teacher and the learners who are geographically remote from each other during the instruction. These are modular distance learning, online distance learning, the television or radio-based instruction. Let me talk a little about what is modular, this online and RBI and TBI. Learning happens purely at home in this distance learning. So the homes are now converted into a learning avenue or arena. This can be modular or online or a combination of both. The TV and radio-based instruction, TB or RBI, can be used to supplement learning in areas with access to TV networks and or radio stations with programs dedicated to deliver DepEd TV radio-based lessons. SLMs or self-learning modules in other divisions or regions, they call that as learning activity sheets or alternative delivery modules or ADM can be delivered to their homes through the assistance of the barangay officials or volunteers. However, some adults or parents may also personally pick up the SLM with proper coordination with the school, strictly observing the health and physical distancing protocols. The parents are given the option to choose any distance learning modalities that they think will be greatly beneficial and or applicable to their child. So these are our learning modalities under distance learning. We have modular distance learning, online distance learning, TV, video, radio-based instruction, and blended distance learning. For modular distance learning, MDL, a learner may adopt either digital modular distance learning or the DMDL or printed modular distance learning or the PMDL. Learners with devices at home like laptop, desktop, tablet may adopt the DMDL. For digital modular distance learning, the self-learning modules or the LAS, learners activity sheets in different digital formats such as flat PDF, education videos, audio lessons, ESLMs, and other are stored in a CD, DVD, USB, flash drives, pen drives, while the PMDL, the SLMs in printed form, are distributed to the learners using the Dropbox in the schools. For online distance learning, what are the features of this learning delivery modality? Actually, this is applicable in schools where both the teachers and the learners have access to digital devices, such as laptops, tablets, smartphones, and desktop computers with available online resources and internet connectivity. The learning resources to be used are, but not limited to, the following: self-learning modules, SLMs again, the LAS, the ADMs, textbooks, teacher-made videos, and other supplementary learning materials, and open educational resources. For television, radio-based instruction, that's for TV and RBI, this was implemented in areas with access to television networks and or radio stations with programs dedicated to deliver DepEd and TV radio-based lessons. The TV radio-based lessons that were utilized were converted self-learning modules and teacher-made videos that are aligned with the most essential learning competencies. It could be existing TV video lessons which are MELCS mapped were also utilized. The TBRBI supplemented with learning activity sheets. So in addition to the episodes in the television or in the radio, we also supplement that with learning activity sheets and other supplementary learning resources like textbooks and learning materials. Making SLMs available to the learners also made TBI and RBI more effective and meaningful for our learners. For the blended distance learning, blended is a combination. We blend, we put together. So these are adapted ODL and PMDL, meaning online distance learning plus printed modular distance learning. Or it could be online distance learning and digital modular distance learning. It could also be ODL plus TV video SLM base, ODL and TV video MELCS mapped, and MDL and TV video SLM base, and MDL and TV video MELCS map, and others. And this is what we are busy working now because we are preparing a lot of RBI episodes and TBI scripts, and we are trying also to capture that. We are doing the shooting in areas where these lessons are applicable to supplement our modalities. For homeschooling, let's remember that we also have homeschooling centers. For homeschooling, there are some things or important considerations that we have to remember. Learning happens at home or at a designated learning center by the homeschool implementer. The learning facilitator, like a parent, a guardian, or a hired tutor, should meet the required qualifications set by the homeschool implementer. Necessary learning materials and resources were provided to the child. Homeschooling requires the child to be officially enrolled in a recognized homeschool provider, either a public or a private schools. So we really have accredited or recognized homeschooling providers. What are the features or the benefits of learning at home? Learning at home is beneficial for you, parents, stakeholders, and of course our children because of the following reasons. It is flexible, it saves time, it is self-paced. Our learners learn from their own pace. So it's very, very convenient on their part. So there's some sort of leniency on the end of the Department of Education. And of course, it promotes also engagement wherein quality time should be spent by the parents with their kids or their kids also with their parents. So collaboration. What is the primary learning resource used by our learners at home? As I mentioned, we develop self-learning modules. We did quality assurance of these learning modules. Other division contextualize the self-learning modules in the context of the locality. And these are the primary learning resource that will be used or being used by our learners who are enrolled in distance learning and blended learning modalities. The SLM or the LAS can be in various formats like printed or digital format, audio-video lessons or ESLMs, depending on the adapted learning modalities. Now, how do we help our learners manage their time and finish the assigned learning tasks at home, knowing that our teachers and our learners are not engaged on a face-to-face instruction and learners are left at home? On this regard, the Department of Education recommended the weekly home learning plan, which shall aid teachers and parents in keeping track of the day-to-day in school and off-school general learning processes and activities to be done by our learners. And may I share to the group or to our friends a sample weekly home learning plan for modular distance learning. You can see there that this weekly home learning plan consists of the following parts. We have here the learning area, and this learning area refers to the K-12 subjects prescribed to be taken. We have there the list of learning competencies, which refers to the knowledge, understanding, skills, and attitudes that learners need to demonstrate in every lesson that they are going to take. Learning tasks, that's in the fifth column here, are the formative learning activities, opportunities designed for learners to enhance their learning processes. And finally, for the mode of delivery are the method of submission of learning outputs. And learning outputs are the written works, blogs, products, performances, photos, pictures, portfolio, which the learners have developed during the activities. So these are the things that we provide our learners to guide learners, parents, teen, and teachers. And maybe you will ask, what will happen to those learners who are lagging behind with our struggling learners? So how do we help learners who find it very difficult to keep up with the lessons and consequently fall below the learning expectation? Remember, it is our trust that no learner is left behind. We want to ensure that our learners are moving forward. So therefore, again, the department has designed this individual learning monitoring plan, which shall be utilized to monitor learners' progress on the given interventions, strategies, and activities provided in the weekly home learning plan. The ILMP serves as a feedback mechanism for our teachers, learners, parents, for academic progress and basis for intervention and remediation as well. That this document will also provide support to learners lagging behind. And for us teachers, this will help us decide on the effectiveness of the learning modality which we have adopted or the parents have chosen. And this will also guide our teachers for adjustment of the content in the learning activity sheets, self-learning modules, or alternative delivery modules that we provided our learners. And for supervisors and other DepEd key officials, this is also basis for technical assistance and support. May I also show you the sample template of an individual learning monitoring plan. So the ILMP consists of the following parts. We have here the learning area. Of course, these are the subjects. The learner's needs. These are gaps between the required knowledge, skills, and attitude. Intervention strategies. These are program or sets of activities, steps to help learners improve areas they struggle with or they lag behind. We also have the monitoring day to keep track of the activities and the schedule of evaluation or remediation. And we have here the learner status, which we have 3. Under learner status first is telling us how well the student learned as a result of teaching learning process in the chosen LBM. So we have here manifestation and insignificant progress, significant progress, and mastery. What is insignificant progress then? This one refers to those learners who did not meet the expectation, or when we have the quantitative results of their performance, so those learners getting a scores or a performance below 75, because in the context of our performance, 75 is the passing mark. So they show insignificant progress. Significant progress are those of significantly improved out of the interventions or remediations provided by the school and the parents as well. And for mastery, this refers to the status where a learner has reached a level of mastery after provisions of interventions or strategies, collaboration among parents and the school. So this is how we keep track and provide support to our learners by having ILMP from the weekly home learning plan that we have. Nowadays, this is now the best time to partner with us in the education of our children from K to 12. So for our parents, our guardians, we use also the acronym to remind our dear parents. Enumerating the roles and responsibilities expected of them, that nowadays they act as coach and learning facilitators at home. So what is this acronym PARENTS? P for provide, A for advise, R for remind, E for engage, N for nurture, T for trust, and S for support. P means provide children with enough time for learning support. So we appeal to our parents that there should be enough time for learning support, that wherein advice to children are essential this time. So we need parents' advices, guardian advices to establish routines and procedures by reminding them maybe or check learners of their progress in doing the tasks reflected in the weekly home learning plan. Well, parents and learners, of course, should engage as they collaborate and work with the tasks. Engage also with the teachers, because we provided all the platforms of communication wherein two or three are collaborating, engaging for our learners. And that is the way of nurturing the interest, a way of nurturing support to sustain education in the new normal. And of course, we trust our parents, we likewise trust our learners. We believe in them that during this trying time, they are resilient. They can cope with the challenges in this pandemic. And likewise, support your children our children in all their endeavors. So that's parents. That's the new acronym for this new normal. And for school year 2021, the schools formally started last October 5. That's the actual conduct of teaching learning activities, adapting different modalities, and shall end on June 11, 2021. This school year consists of 205 school days inclusive of preschool year activities, in-service training, and conduct of closing rites. In closing, the BELCP lays down the direction for basic education in the school year 2020-2021. Implementation are embodied in appropriate guidelines, rules, or directives, and operationalized through programs, projects, and activities. DepEd has holistically demonstrated resilience in responding to adversities and in delivering commitments and responsibilities. Nonetheless, the implementation of BELCP is not easy. We experience a lot of humps. These are not absolute. It is not also a perfect plan, and operational complications are expected, experienced, and seen along the way. Thus, we seek the understanding, support, and solidarity of our DepEd family, our able stakeholders in the true spirit of unity and bayanihan, or we call mutual help and support. For the DepEd Division of Iloilo City, DepEd Republic of the Philippines, I say, sulong edukalidad. This is Nerio Benito E. Iseo, Public Schools District Supervisor, District 1, Iloilo City Proper, Schools Division of Iloilo City, Region 6, Western Visayas, Republic of the Philippines. Madamo gid nga salamat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nerio Benito E. Iseo, Public Schools District Supervisor of the Department of Education, Schools Division of Iloilo City, Philippines, for the important insights that may expand our awareness of the learning delivery modalities of the Department of Education. I am now calling on, once again, our University President to acknowledge Dr. Iseo for his invaluable time, effort, and expertise. Dr. Muyong, sir?
Yes, good afternoon. Again, on behalf of the university, we'd like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to Dr. Iseo for sharing with us the topic in this afternoon's international webinar. We are really happy to hear and learn the learning continuity plan of the basic education, because we in the higher education have also laid down our own plan, and we really are happy to know also what DepEd is doing with regards to the implementation of the flexible learning modalities these times of pandemic. So thank you very much for sharing your precious time. I hope that the participants in this webinar learned a lot from your presentation, and it will be cascaded down to the respective classrooms so that together we will learn as one. Thank you and good afternoon.
Once
Thank you
again,
very
thank you
much.
very much, Dr. Nerio Benito E. Iseo. Colleagues in the academy will now have the open forum. We have chosen some questions from the chat box that I will read them for our respective resource speakers to answer. But our first question is from none other than our university president, Dr. Raul F. Muyong, who mentioned a while ago that he has a question for Dr. Handriantini. So I'm giving you back, Dr. Muyong. Sir?
Yeah, again, good afternoon. I would like to address this question to Ma'am Eva, Dr. Eva, because you talk about vocational higher education. My concern is how do you implement the student internship program in your country this time of pandemic, because we believe that vocational education requires hands-on training and of course internship as part of our curriculum. Now, in your country, how were you able to implement that internship program among our students in the vocational higher education?
Thank you, Dr. Muyo. I will share about the vocational education, especially in internship program. Yes, because this pandemic, we still the students still doing the internship program, but they did in with an online system. There is any project from the partner, our partner, and the student can doing the project in at home. Also, they are presenting the progress, also using online meeting like this. And then also for some, if the student already in the close with the industry location, they can choose twice program. They can entry the industry if the any policy from industry, or they still doing online at home with the project in at home like that, Mr. Muang.
How about the courses that requires laboratory, for example? If you are having automotive, electronics, or other courses that requires a face-to-face laboratory for them to learn the skills. How is it done in your country?
Yes, in our government policy, if the student from the higher vocational high school, also the vocational higher education, they can entry to the university or school if just for practice in the laboratory, only for practicum like that, to practice in the laboratory. But in other subject, like a theory or something, the students still doing in online learning like that. That is we are doing now in vocational in Indonesia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eva. Yeah.
You too. Thank you.
Yes. Dr. Nathan has something to say.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Mr. President.
Yes.
Hi to Dr. Eva as well. We met in, I believe, in Subaraya. I think.
Yeah.
Subaraya. However, your question is very interesting and it triggers my thoughts, Mr. President, about this internship program amid COVID situation. Since I have a request from our Indonesian partner university to do the mobility program for education students. However, we would like to say yes, but unfortunately, the platform has been some kind of difficulty, as Dr. Eva mentioned, and you mentioned that. How are the students going to do the online practicum, okay, and online observation at the school? So how are we going to do this? It's going to be easier if the students come, travel to and come to stay with us and go to school to do class observation and do teaching practicum. But in this moment, traveling is nearly impossible. So how are we going to, it's going to be the point about assessment and evaluation, okay? So Dr. Eva mentioned that, okay, student has two choices. Number one, going to the industry, right? But in our case, going to the industry is not possible, okay? Or maybe possible in the fact that the students, say for example, Indonesian students register, enroll this course at CRIU, but they go to their school in their own hometown and do the class observation. But lecturer, CRU lecturer will do the assessment and evaluation. Would that be practical? Okay, that is the point, right? And in order to achieve the purpose, cross-border, mobility program. Secondly, do they still do project at home? Okay, not go to school, but do the project at home. Will this be acceptable? Okay, in terms of assessment and evaluation purpose. So we can open the discussion here. If it's acceptable, maybe I can have that answers back to our university partner in Indonesia that, okay, this may be practical solutions, and there would be two options, okay, two solutions for them to choose from. Okay, what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah. In our country, of course, we do have requirements on internship, but it is more of home-based internship program because we are not allowing our students to go to the industry partners. So we just allow them to have their internship in their respective community where they can have their training in their home based facilities. No? So, but of course, we reduce the number of contact hours in the industry. Out of the 100% contact hours, we just require them to have 40%, and the rest, 60%, will be more on home-based activities like worksheets and everything. So we reduce the number of contact hours. Ma'am Tintin from Tao, I believe she has something to share about implementation of the internship program, especially on the agriculture. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Can you, Ma'am Christine? Yeah. Gray, please unmute Ma'am Christine.
Hello, good afternoon again, Dr. Muyong and the rest of our ESETU family, and of course, Dr. Santi and Dr. Eva. In the case of Tarlac Agricultural University, we have sent about 25 of our Bachelor of Science in Genetic Engineering students to ITS in Surabaya because they have a program for virtual internship. Our students are given project-based learning, and they are doing their classes and virtual laboratories for the rest of the semester. So these students are also doing the projects with other students from the partner universities of ITS. We don't have any option but to do this because these are graduating students and they cannot take their internship next semester because they will be doing their thesis. We have also talked with some of our partner universities in Indonesia for the implementation of our online practice teaching next semester. But unfortunately, our partner, Dr. Ngura Mareni, has died recently. So we are still finding for other options on this. And we are waiting for the update from that partner. But still, we are sending our students virtually for practice teaching. And I believe that this is also the best way to expose our teachers now because the mode of education that we are doing is more on online and flexible learning. So this will already be their practice because of course we cannot go back 100% to the usual way of teaching. So by exposing them to this kind of learning perspectives and online platform is also our way of preparing our teachers in the future for their employment later on.
Thank you, Ma'am Tintin. Yeah. Okay, Ma'am Jessa, we're done.
Thank you so much for all your inputs. Ladies and gentlemen, we really learned so much from that. And I think we still have other questions, and I would like to read them to you so that our resource speakers may address them. Okay. So our first question is for Dr. Santi from Mr. Jimmy Ray Cabardo, a PhD student of Davao del Sur State College in consortium with Davao del Norte State College, Philippines. And it goes, with the utilization of online learning, how do you manage possible cheating during the examination? Are the online platforms for online examination effective? What are some of the problems you have encountered with online learning? How did you manage such problems? Dr. Santi? This question is for Dr. Santi, sir.
Yes, I am here. Okay, so thank you for the question. So this question is just for the timely manner. So as I mentioned before, we are now having the online final exam. Okay, and my mobile phone is now active because many questions come to the chat box about many problems occurred during the online exam. Okay, so I would like to address the problems first. The problems about online examination is a system stability because this project is a campus-wide, not just only one individual classroom. So the stability of the internet connection and the stability of the software itself needs to be really up to the point to accommodate the mass examination. Second, we need to have prompt technical support. Okay, so it's really set up a kind of prompt communication support between teachers, students, and also the administrator like me, who will be ready all the time to solve immediate problems. Okay, so there are always problems, and then we need to fix the problems, even though we have planned ahead. And about the cheating kind of a thing, it's really, I have to say that in the assessment and evaluation theory, we have the technical term, it is called a trade-off. Okay, a trade-off means that we need to save way to compensate. We cannot get everything 100%, but we are trying to maximize the effectiveness of the test or the examination. And one of the things is that we need to give trust to our students in order to uplift their morality. So if they even cheat their test at the very beginning, while they are students, how they are going to be professional, okay, transparent, professional in the future. So this is the thing that we have addressed this moral issue to the students. And for the prevention of the cheating kind of thing, we may need to design the test that is really time-based. Okay, time-based. That means that the students, while they are doing the online examination, they will have no time to do other things except focusing on choosing the right answer or answering the correct answers to the question. So these are the things that we have to address again later on after the implementation of this project. I'm going to organize what we call the post implementation seminar. So we will review everything that we have implemented on this project, including these issues. But for the moment, I can answer to these questions like this. Okay, I hope my answer suffices your needs.
Thank you so much for your insights, Dr. Santi. We appreciate it. Now let us move on to the next question, please. So this one is still for Dr. Santi from Mr. Rosser S. Campano. Doctor of Education student of ESETU, Philippines. The question reads, what are your government's initiatives to help the education sector address the problem on internet connectivity you mentioned in your study? Sir?
Okay, so thank you very much once again for this question. This question is really interesting and very important for us. At the moment, as there is another vice president who is overseeing the IT, okay, the internet infrastructure of the university, but the government also offer what the fiber optic, I mean, internet system is called Uninet, okay, which is used among the universities in Thailand. And we also partner with, private internet provider, okay, like True Internet and also AIS internet connection. So we use multiple, okay, we use multiple internet connections in the university, and we have to balance, okay, we have to balance these internet connections by our IT team in order to offer the best internet connectivity within the university, but it's still not enough, okay, at the moment.
Thank you very much, sir. Do we still have, yes, we have another question. This is for Dr. Handriantini from Mr. Renante E. Fernandez, Doctor of Education student of ESETU, Philippines. It says, is it noteworthy how the Indonesian government has spearheaded various initiatives when it comes to technology use in education? In an institutional level, what would you consider as the biggest challenge? How are you able to manage to cope with it? Ma'am?
Okay. About the Indonesian government, yeah, I will try to answer this question for Mr. Renate. Initiative, yes. This is about the level institution in Indonesia. Is about how the government support for the technology, especially in this pandemic, online learning, and the government because different cities, different the problem. Especially like Mr. Santi said about the infrastructure. That's why the government also collaborate with the provider in Indonesia, and any support from government to the student, all the student, any level in Indonesia, to help student to connect internet with the some quota the government share to the mobile phone from the student. That is our government solution or initiative in to make the student still connectivity in online learning. And also about the biggest challenge, I think in this one, because it's now online learning already more than 3 months. I think the biggest challenge is about, I don't know after the pandemic, but I guess the student already comfort with the new normal environment with online. Also the student in higher education, they can also studying with working a part-time job, maybe working from the home also to study in university. I think this is the big challenge in Indonesia institution level, especially in higher education, and how we are manage this this the future need from the student. Now in our university also to build some more subject to create in online learning. That's why to help the student can still learning after this pandemic like that. Okay, I hope this question ensure can help support your question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Handriantini. We have two questions. Two questions left for everyone, and this one is for Dr. Anerio Benito Iseo from Professor Ronel A. Edobane of ESETU. What are the different adjustments made by every school in the schools division of Iloilo City in terms of the Learning Continuity Plan, or LCP? Sir?
Thank you very much, Sir Ronel. And indeed, I have seen the direction of the Schools Division of Iloilo City guided by the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. And the schools, of course, also our schools have designed a BELCP to address the immediate concerns in the community. You know, these plans are not absolute. When we first started crafting the BELCP, we even reached up to 13th revision of our BALCP. And even up to now, seeing the pictures now in the week 1, week 2, week 3, and now we are on the week 4 of the opening of classes, still we are trying to embed all the adjustments in terms of the issues and concerns that confronting our schools, our districts, and our division. So as to our adjustments and in terms of the platforms, well, we are trying to coordinate first with the learners. We gather or we collect all issues and concerns. We have a platform of gathering the feedback coming from parents and schools, and it is being managed and processed by the school's governance operations division. And all these issues and concerns are being addressed by the schools, the division, with the support of the local government executives. We are very fortunate and we are very happy or lucky enough that we have a very strong LGU here in Iloilo City. They are trying to immediately arrest all issues because the mayor himself would like to support education in Iloilo City. And other issues and concerns relative to curriculum are even elevated to the regional office. And out of these concerns, the regional office has to collaborate with all our ASECs and the USECs. Weekly executive committee meeting, weekly regional MANCOM management committee meeting, and FGDs are conducted to really ensure that all our problems are harvested and properly addressed. So as I said, our plans are not casted in stone. They are not absolute. So therefore, we keep on revising it to immediately address the specific needs of every learners in the context of their locality, in the context of their community, and in the context of the school as a whole. So meaning to say, if we address problems, we address that using contextualization also. Thank you. I hope I have satisfied you, Sir Ronel.
Thank you so much for your insights, Dr. Iseo. We appreciate it. I just would like to remind all our participants that you will still need to answer the electronic evaluation that we will be posting in the chat box later after the program. So please do stay until the end of the webinar. We have another question here for Dr. Iseo from Ms. Marjorie Goroy. And it goes, after the pandemic, is there a plan to teach the competencies that were not included in the MELCs? Can you comment on the perception that learners who graduate in the K-12 curriculum this year will not be fully equipped in college? Sir?
Okay, thank you so much, Marge. And I'm happy that this issue has been raised this afternoon. The Department Order number 12 series of 2020, and that is about the adoption of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan for school year 2020-21 in light of the COVID-19 public health emergency. Item number 10, streamlining the K-12 curriculum into the most essential learning competencies. I would like to expound my presentation with this thought. In the identification of the MELCs, or most essential learning competencies, is not only in response to the challenge of delivering learning in time of COVID-19 pandemic, but is actually the accelerated results of the curriculum review that the Secretary has directed as early as 2 years ago. So meaning we have our curriculum review after we have implemented the K-12 basic education. Only that the MELCs has been hastened because of this pandemic. Furthermore, this responds to the finding that there are overlaps and congestion in the K-12 curriculum. The review of the curriculum was participated in by the bureau specialists, academic experts, field implementers from K-12 teachers, parents, and some learners working collaboratively and employing consensus adjustment. A key partner in the review process made for this MELC was the ACTRC, or the Assessment Curriculum and Technology Research Center, with the support of the OSAID, the ABC Plus, and the Sustaining Educational Results Gains. So, if we will say that our graduates are not fully equipped in college, I would like to bring back my presentation that as long as our learners meet the curriculum exits, which I have highlighted, then we can say that we have satisfied our deliverables. Thank you so much again. And I hope, Marge, I made my point clear.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iseo, for that insight. And I know that that was the last question that our team has chosen from the chat box panel. But I just would like to highlight another question. This is actually from Ma'am Susana Pudyastuti from Sticky Malang. And I would like to highlight this. This is actually addressed to Dr. Santi. The question goes, what strategies that are employed by your institution do to improve the lecturer's hybrid teaching online competency to support the successful teaching during the emergency situation?
Thank you, Ma'am Moderator Jessa. Okay, and thank you for the very interesting question. I have to admit that the capacity building for teachers and students is very important for the success of online learning. As I mentioned at the very beginning of my presentation, this is new skills. We are all new. So what we have to do is that we have to motivate. We have to motivate both teachers and students to go out from their comfort zone, right, from the traditional classroom to the new instruction platform by sitting in front of the computer screen or standing with the microphone and with the camera, okay, a spotlight towards their face. So our teachers are all very, comfortable about this situation. So we need, number one, we need clear policy. We need clear policy from the university. Okay, for example, all class will be online. So from April 2020 onwards, once the university signed the announcement by the president, so say all classes will be online, no more. Then all teachers and students need to really change their behavior immediately. And then second, we need clear platform. So what kind of platform that the university will offer will give facilitation. At the very beginning, there are very confusing, frustrating situation. Someone said Google Classroom. The other people said Microsoft Teams. The other people said just use Facebook. The other people said Line is better. Oh, there are some sort of confusing. But by the end of the day, okay, when the university say two platforms are sponsored, completely sponsored by the university. Okay, either Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, and then the IT team help us by the communication channel. So number three is communication is another factor that influencing the strategies. So created the Facebook group, okay, Facebook group on Google Classroom and Facebook group on Microsoft Teams. So the people who favor Google Classroom, they are talking to each other. And then people who are favoring the Microsoft Teams to each other, and they are sharing the experience of how to develop, okay, online instruction, how to develop online test, how to develop the presentation, something like that. Okay, and then next thing is there are some movement on setting up the studio. Okay. Some is setting up the studio at their own respective faculty. So someone maybe is not trying to look good in front of the camera, and maybe their own laptop and their own computer does not give a nice shot. So they need studio. So the university need to provide the studio room, okay, for some specific courses that really need a more high-end kind of device for online instruction. And finally, we need a role model. So someone, okay, who is really up to the technology-wise implementation. Okay, so in this case, I devoted myself to be one of the role models in the university who are using multiple technologies in order to mobilize, giving the new environment to the new normal kind of classroom. So these are four or five what we call the that we are offering at the CRU to mobilize the new normal classroom. So I hope that I have made some practical to this question. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Santi, for sharing those ideas with us. Note that we will be considering those in our respective schools. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, dear participants, for actively participating in the open forum. Your questions gave further light to some of the gray areas that have been clarified by our resource speakers. We are likewise grateful to our resource speakers for indulging us further with their time and for sharing their points of view. We learned so much from all of your insights shared to us all today. Indeed, this has been a meeting of the minds. Ladies and gentlemen, we are reminding you of the evaluation. We have posted the link in our chat box. Please do answer the evaluation so that you may get your certificate for this international webinar. Friends, we will have a post-session photo opportunity in a while, so please don't leave the Zoom call yet. Also, we will be posting the link of the evaluation once again in a while so that you will not forget to answer it. Please note that it is really very important for us that you fill in the evaluation form so that we will know your insights on how we would be able to improve our webinars in ESET University. So ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the awarding of a digital certificate to each of our resource speakers. The certificate reads, Republic of the Philippines, Iloilo Science and Technology University, La Paz, Iloilo City College of Education Graduate Studies awards this certificate of recognition to Dr. Natapon Santi in grateful and sincere acknowledgement of his valuable knowledge and expertise as resource speaker during the international webinar on administrative leadership sponsored by the ESETU Doctor of Education students with the theme Educational Landscape During and Beyond Pandemic, a triple-tiered perspective, given at Iloilo Science and Technology University, Burgos Street, La Paz, Iloilo City, Philippines, this 28th day of October 2020. Signed, Dr. Raul F. Muyong, SUC President 3.
ขอบคุณครับ Thank you very, very much, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, sir. The same certificate is also given to Dr. Eva Handriantini. And the same certificate with the same text is also given to Dr. Anerio Benito E. Iseo.
Thank you for moderator also, Dr.
Thank you
Muyong.
very
Thank
much,
you.
ESETU. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again, Dr. Natapon Santi from Thailand, Dr. Eva Handriantini from Indonesia, and Dr. Nerio Benito Iseo from the Philippines. We hope that we could see all of you in person after the pandemic and hold additional collaborations with you and your respective institutions so we may propel the internationalization of education further and beyond the virtual screen. At
you
this
very
juncture,
much to the host.
yes, thank you.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Napon.
สวัสดีครับ บ๊ายบาย
Bye bye, bye bye.
Please don't go yet. Mom,
Oh,
sir,
don't go? Okay.
don't go yet. We will still have a photo opportunity after the closing remarks. Please stay. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on the Dean of the College of Education of ESETU to give his closing remarks. Please all give a virtual applause to Dr. John Eric V. Waneza.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Jessa, and to our great speakers this afternoon from Thailand. We have Dr. Natapon, and from Indonesia, Dr. Eva, and of course, our very own from the Philippines, Dr. Iseo. Having different perspective from the three layers of education in ASEAN countries could provide future leaders a correct path to choose from. Matured by COVID-19 pandemic. Matured in the sense that a lot of realization were processed, that collaboration with ease among ASEAN countries give us hope for partnership in research and other academic endeavors. This occasion further provide a glimpse how educational institutions thrive and survive by providing varied innovations and initiatives how to deliver quality education amidst pandemic. Our presence is a manifestation how eager we are as we continuously providing alternative intervention on how we could contribute positive result in advancing educational agenda. On behalf of the organizer, we would like to extend our deepest appreciation to the support of our university president, Sir Raul Muyong. Thank you very much. And of course, to our Vice President for External Affairs, Dr. Babakyao, thank you very much. And of course, Sir Jun Badules, the NEA Director, Ma'am Shai, Shailini, our COA Coordinator, and of course, the Doctor of Education students who made these things possible as part of their requirements. And of course, Madam Jessa, magandang umaga po, magandang hapon at maraming salamat po. And from all of us here in the College of Education, this is Sir Eric, mabuhay.
Thank you so much, Dr. John Eric V. Wanesa, for that inspiring parting message and for leading this most amazing meeting of the minds through this international webinar on administrative leadership. Congratulations, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a post-session photo opportunity. Everyone is requested to turn on and face their device camera, smile, because we have just had a successful and productive afternoon. Mom Connie, take it away.
Yes, so far we have 7 panels. So everybody smile. Let's start with panel number 1. Okay, perfect. Panel number 2. Panel number 3. Panel number 4. Panel number 5. And panel number 6. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you and congratulations, everyone. We are done with the international webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our afternoon. Gratitude goes out to all of you for actively participating and for sharing your invaluable insights. We are grateful to Dr. Raul F. Muyong, President of Iloilo Science and Technology University, for your all-out support for staying all throughout the program. Thank you so much, sir, from the bottom of our hearts. To Dr. Nemia H. Mabakiao, Vice President for External Affairs, for your guidance. Dr. John Eric B. Wanesa, Dean of the College of Education, the Doctor of Education students who work so hard behind the scenes, and to all our participants for making this virtual webinar on administrative leadership possible. This has been your moderator, Giza Napone from ESET University, Iloilo City, Philippines, signing off. Stay safe, everyone, and congratulations.
Stay safe, stay. Okay, good luck to you all. สวัสดีครับ บ๊ายบายครับ
Thank you and goodbye.
Don't leave. Amazing. Don't leave, dear students, dear classmates. Ay, susunod.
Thank you very much. I'm leaving. God bless and congratulations, one and all.
Thank you, Sir
Thank you, Ma'am
Isaiah.
Jessa.
Thank
So
you, sir.
great. Oh,
Thank you.
Sir Steo, thank you very much.
Sir Eric, thank you very much. Sir Muyong.
Salamat po. Salamat.
See you first Saturday of November, graduate students. Thank you.